You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. That's why so many people are making the switch to Mint Mobile.
Say hasta la vista to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you.
All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts.
Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium service from Mint Mobile for $15. Amy, didn't you say that your sister is on Mint Mobile and loves it?
Yes, it was the best option for her when she finally got her own mobile wireless plan.
Honestly, I think that it might be the best option for anyone who needs their own mobile wireless plan. It sounds amazing.
This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/booktalk. That's mintmobile.com/BOOKTALK.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months. 5 gigabyte plan required. Equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Tax and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Welcome to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy, a literary podcast where we deep dive into the writings of your favorite novels. We've recently finished hosting our spring book club and are gearing up for our 10-part literary analysis of Sarah J. Maas's Crown of Midnight.
This is Jac.
And I'm Amy.
Today we're discussing listener-submitted thoughts about Crown of Midnight, all things SJM, and anything else they've basically sent our way. All right, let's start this episode. We're starting. Okay, guys, you don't know this, but we record the outros and intros first, and we lost it. So please stick around for the end because we lose it.
If this is being split into 2 episodes, it will be the end of the second episode or second part.
No, we lose it a little bit. I mean, we lose it at the first, the end of the second part the most, but the descent into chaos. Yeah. It starts now. The chaos begins now. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is today, but we're here to talk about all of your thoughts, guys. And it's alive for our Patreon subscribers.
It is for our emotional support cookies and trophy wives.
Shout out to those watching.
And then those 2 tiers, as well as our sexy chickens, will get the access to the recording tonight or tomorrow.
They also get to see my room. And it's not messy. The closet's just open.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite tidy, except for all the shit on my bed. But that's because I'm putting together something for my wall. This will all come together, guys. Just wait for magic to happen. So we asked everyone to submit questions. And then there are a number of DMs I have not opened because I was like, well, we'll get to those. So you tell me, where would you like to start? Do you see some of the comments people put?
Yeah, I did look at several of them. Let's start with something that isn't Throne of Glass related.
Okay.
But it is Sarah J. Maas because I have seen this online. So there are theories online that the author of Silver Elite, I think it's Danny something.
Have y'all heard the theory the Silver Elite author is SJM pen name?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Danny Silver. Yeah,
Danny Silver. I haven't read it. It's amazing because some people are ripping this apart online, and I'm wondering if they're ripping it apart because they think it's
Sarah J. Maas.
Or they know, the thing is, the marketing people know, like, said that this is a prominent author, that this is a successful author. So
it just sounds like a marketing ploy to me.
I know. And there's so much drama surrounding this. So people are ripping the book apart. I think I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if people are ripping it apart just because they're like, oh, well, this is a successful author and we're going to rip it apart regardless. Or if they're doing it because it's actually bad. But, we have a comment before I continue.
Colleen says, I hear people say that book is so similar to another one that just came out.
One of my other things that I saw online is someone saying, does the author get to have their privacy because they've chosen a pen name and not disclose who they are? And because people are like trying really hard to figure out who it is, like any information they can find. And is that violating of the author themselves? 90% yes. 10% you're using it for marketing.
Yeah, I wonder how much the author consented, because here's my feeling about a lot of marketing. It is not very well regulated. They can say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I'm not in marketing with publishing, but there is an approval process. I can't imagine that author having zero say in something just because and again, I'm not in that side of marketing, but I'm in a different side of marketing. And, every single person has to approve something. I can't imagine them not knowing something.
I actually think saying this is actually a very successful author with a pen name is the perfect marketing lie for someone who is new. Because it garners a lot of interest, even if people are ripping it apart. And people are trying to figure out who it is, and they're prescribing it to authors who didn't write it.
Yeah.
It creates buzz. And that's all it needs to be. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It's selling books.
Yeah. I think I had like a more bitter point of view about this, surprisingly. I don't find myself to be a very bitter person, but I kind of had this attitude of, if this is an SJM, right? A J.K. Rowling, although she sucks, so let's not put her. Rebecca Yarros, right? Someone who decided to dabble. People even threw around Brandon Sanderson, but I think we would know exactly his writing if he ever did. But to me, it just feels like no matter what book they put out now, it will be a bestseller. It's going to be a New York Times bestseller. It'll probably be #1. They're just legacy at this point, right? They're a name. It's so hard for authors nowadays to get popularity, to get recognition, to get attention. The amount of work that authors have to do to market just like themselves, the marketing that they do. Yes, publishers help with that, but there's so much that authors themselves have to put out there every single day to keep promoting. Even authors like Kate Golden, she doesn't put her face out there. She is out there putting content every single day. And
so much content.
I just wanted to be like, well, what does it look like if you had to try? Because whether it's SJM, whether it's Rebecca Yarros or Brandon Sanderson or whoever the hell it might be, they don't have to try. And to me, I get annoyed, like this whole, like, it's a big author, but you don't know who it is. It's a cop out because if this person had put that book out, it would have flopped. No one would have bought it because they don't know what it's like to have to market anymore.
I completely agree. And, the industry just disadvantages those who don't have resources. And the people who were able to make it big, hopefully new people will be able to make it big eventually, but it takes time. And in the meantime, these other authors who have the funds to throw at marketing agencies will just continue to thrive.
Yeah.
When there's so many other good books out there. Like, there's so many books I would recommend over House of Flame and Shadow.
Oh my God, yeah. It's funny, one of our friends, Marissa, she was messaging me today asking me about Harry Potter and London, and I was like, I got both of those covered for you. You want to know about London? Do you want to know about where to find Diagon Alley? That was not her question. But her general sentiment was, when's the next big thing coming? Especially when it comes to YA. And then it became like a subject of like, what about YA? And my theory with YA is that it grew up with us / and marketing was targeted to a generation versus a genre. And the third place, which is, people have a third place. It's normally home, work, another place, right? Bar, mall, or, homeschool after like sport. There's normally a third place. The third place is gone now, and that's really hurting the youth. And I think that's why the youth holds on to media that's not meant for them, and it makes them older, right? Because their third place is now the internet, which is not regulated for them. That always will come back down to literature and media and TV and movies, and like, what is this next big thing? And I was like, hey, I hate to tell you this because like this may not be your answer, but the next big thing would have been ACOTAR in many ways, would have been now Rebecca Yarros with Fourth Wing. It's one of the best adult selling books in 20 years.
Yeah.
The next big thing is just so hard to predict. And half of it is luck and half of it is because even Rebecca Yarros, you can argue, she did not come out of nowhere. She was pitched that idea. She had the support of Amazon behind her before the book even came out.
Right. Again, access to resources.
Exactly. Which then comes into, when's the access to the resources going to happen to women of color? So throwing that.
Excellent point.
LGBTQ community. Where's that support? I love how we started with like laughing our ass off, and now I'm just mad. I'm in a weird space today.
Maybe I should not have started with Silver Elite and whatnot, but that's okay.
Here, would you like to go to the DMs? There's a couple of requests that I did not go to.
Sure. This message is from MJ. Hi, I know Amy theorizes that the Archeron sisters are starborn like Bryce, an example being that Feyre glows. Well, I was listening to Throne of Glass recently, and Aelin sometimes is said to glow as well, and she has the power of the sun, right? What is the sun? It's also a star. I have a theory that Aelin is also starborn, and that will have to tie in together in later books. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Elena has a crown of stars. She's associated with starlight. Aelin's associated with stars and sun. So I am on board.
I mean, Bryce is starborn. I mean, at this point, you and I are
is it?
starborn. I know, like... Let's just go get a star. I'm craving another tattoo. I get what this means, but
you understand now.
Yeah, I do. But it's just like at this point, who's not starborn? But I don't want to dismiss this listener's submission because I think you are spot on. That's how we should have been able to tell if Silver Elite was SJM or not, to see if someone was starborn in there, because then we could tell.
Or someone. There were a lot of hot takes, by the way, in our Instagram responses today.
Oh.
One of the hot takes was, I can't stand how SJM always uses phantom wind or night kissed wind. I was like, that is an SJM tell, 100%.
Is there wind? Is it kissing you? Is it molesting you? Can you have sex with the wind? The answer's yes.
Is the phantom coming to assault you?
You could just end it at coming.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Is the phantom coming? Then you may or may not be dealing with a shadow daddy. I love Cassian. He's not a shadow daddy. He's just a daddy.
He's just a daddy.
He doesn't need shadows to be a daddy.
That's right.
Get yourself a daddy.
Daddy.
Okay, I'll read Brittany. This is, again, weird headspace for all of us. Except for Brittany. I'm sure she's lovely. Hi, Jac and Amy. I love your podcast and have listened to almost every episode, some multiple times, and can't tell you how much I enjoy your analysis of so many of my favorite novels. I just wanted to share some fun mythology I came across that related to Throne of Glass series, which you may have heard before, but it was new to me, and I thought it was too perfect not to share. My husband and I were just in our honeymoon in Ireland and Scotland. Congrats! So, of course, we came across some fairy stories, and something that stood out was from Irish folklore, where hawthorn trees, also called whitehorn trees, were considered to be doors of portals between the fairy and human realms. In fact, to this day, these trees are revered in Ireland, and it's considered taboo to cut them down. This made me think of SJM's purpose in giving Rowan's character the last name Whitethorn, because in Heir of Fire, he not only physically leads Aelin to the land of Fae, or at least to Mistward, but also helps her across the Fae side within herself. SJM is telling us that Rowan is her portal to the Fae realm, both physically and spiritually, and that just made me fall in love with her writing even more. Anyway, hope that was interesting to you both, and I can't wait for your analysis on Crown of Midnight. Britt, she, her.
I love that. It also made me think of something in A Court of Wings and Ruin. I need to go get my book.
I was about to say it's behind you, but it's not.
It's not. It's
Are you about to
it's
go
in
on a
the other
journey?
room. I am. But so you talk about what Brittany said, because I love that she brought this up, because I did not know this at all.
You go. I'm going to take a sip. I can't do this alone.
Okay.
Hello, it's me. Hello from the outside. I've must have heard 1,000 times. Tell you I'm sorry. Anything that I've done. Don't worry, I sang to them.
I'm sure they loved every moment.
Amy looks so smug. Amy,
I remember this all the way from season 3.
All right, I'm already proud of you.
Guess who wears white hawthorn blossoms in their head or in their hair?
Tamlin?
Feyre during the summer solstice in Wings and Ruin when so this whole like portal from human to fae.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting in that context because it's like it's a portal from her old self to her new self, right? She's back at the spring court. She's pretending to be in love with Tamlin, but really the whole time she's thinking about Rhys. She goes and talks to Rhys partway through the ceremony.
Good job.
Sham knows what she's doing.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to her worlds, ACOTAR in particular, Throne of Glass, I'm sure, really leans into British, Irish, Scottish, English mythology and folklore and everything. So it makes total sense that she would have done that purposefully. I feel like she would have done that purposefully and then but maybe like a hint. And then as she's gotten better as a writer, was like, now I'm going to make it so much more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. It makes me wonder if there are Hawthorne references in Crescent City that we missed.
Maybe. I will say, in my own writing, don't be worried. Plants won't mean anything, mostly because I don't know the name of them. So,
so proud of your sale.
They're not going to mean shit. Good job, Britt. I'm going to have to message her and be like, you did great, sweetie. Okay. And then there's another person who commented, I have a thought. This is from Allison. I'm currently listening to part 2 of your... Okay, so now we're making a little turn to other listener thoughts. So this is like a general listener thought, okay? That's what we're doing. I'm currently listening to part 2 of your episode on Trial of the Sun Queen. You and Amy are currently discussing Lord's personality shift and how that relates to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I couldn't help but think of Lucian in ACOTAR and how many people mention that Lucian lost a lot of his personality in later books. Lucian lost his best friend, the Spring Court, and life/safety as he knows it, so it makes sense to me that his personality changes after that. I don't know. I have no one else to talk to about this, so thanks for being the best book club around. P.S. Love you guys and so proud of the success of your podcast. You go, boss ladies. Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Allison. You're absolutely right. He no longer has stability. His friend is abusive. He has no home. He doesn't know if
doesn't want him.
He doesn't know if he's going to get kicked on the street by Rhys and Feyre. Yeah.
Yeah, his mate is like, screw you. I want this other hot guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense why he has no personality.
Yeah, I love when people use
our own thoughts against us.
Our own thoughts. Yeah. It's not against us. We're all in the same team here, but yes, against us. Of like, I love when they just like are smarter with us. And, like, than us.
They make connections.
They're like, wait a minute, you said something, and now I'm gonna have a better thought.
Yeah.
That's good job. Wow. All right, you read something.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what Colleen says?
Oh, right. Sorry, Colleen.
Can we discuss the Sunrise on the Reaping casting? I haven't read the book yet, but I am living for these cast announcements.
Elle Fanning? Is that real? I saw a couple of fake ones, so now I don't know what's real anymore. I also haven't read any of Elle is real. I haven't read any of the Hunger Games, like, more recent ones. Because I'm sad. That's all. It's so heavy. And the thing is, now I feel like she's not being weighed down with this idea that, I have to be YA. I think now she's like, oh, I'm going to come in and I'm going to fuck everyone over because she's only going to write when she's going to do a commentary on society. And society sucks right now. So I don't want a book telling me and pointing out in larger metaphorical ways that society sucks. I'm in it. I know.
Colleen says, I've only read the OG3 and I watched the Young Snow movie. I've never read any of them and I don't plan to.
I forgot that. No, we should do at least the first one.
It's I mean, that Divergent, like,
Hunger Games would be a good one to do for a book club. I'm not saying anything now.
Yeah. Okay.
If you guys want that, go comment on Amy's personal Instagram.
You guys, after Twilight, I swore to myself I would not read anything that was popularized by media.
Yeah, and look where that got you. A whole ass podcast once I made you read.
Once you made me read it, like, it took me 2 years to read it.
You could have been years ahead of this. I think Hunger Games, genuinely, I love it because I love how uncomfortable you are. I love how this will challenge you. Hunger Games is one of those that stood apart and truly had a lot involved and really fucked you up. Like, it was one of those, like, it was YA only because of her age. And this book would not have worked if they were not children. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have had the same meaning.
Yeah.
So I personally don't think it's a YA book. It's, there's just no other way to justify killing children.
That's depressing.
Yeah, we'll circle back to a future book club. I mean, you'd have to listen to it, so it's no big deal.
True. Jessica says, hey guys, I re-downloaded Instagram to tell you must read Shield of Sparrows. Pretty please. I need to hear what you both think. Also, I sent Jack a DM on TikTok after a live, but I wanted to link this video about Bloomsbury talking about SJM's new series. Here's the link in case you didn't see it. If you fast forward to about 38 minutes, that's when they start talking about SJM. I believe this was a meeting that was held last year.
Where'd you see this? Where's this at? Is that in a DM?
It's in in one of the requests.
Oh, that's funny.
That's the book that people are saying is so similar to Silver Elite. Well, we do have to read Shield of Sparrows.
Oh, no.
Because we're interviewing the author in a couple weeks.
No! Wait a minute. Okay, rehash. So she's saying go ahead, read it. It's so good.
Yes, this
good.
listener is saying Shield of Sparrows is good. And Colleen is saying Silver Elite is what people are describing is similar to Shield of Sparrows. Or Shield of Sparrows is similar to Silver Elite.
Ooh.
And the author, Devney Perry, that's who a few of our author friends
are friends with.
Posted pictures with her recently.
Yeah, we are excited to talk to her. She looks like a cool girl. Like, she just has a cool haircut.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I think that matters as an author in my liking.
Are we talking about the same person?
Devney?
It's not who you're thinking of.
Devney, the blonde.
She has a cool haircut. She just has long hair.
No, she doesn't.
Pretty sure she does.
Devney Perry?
Yeah.
All right, so I thought it was shorter. This makes a lot more sense. And my stomach just made some weird noises. Okay, I'm going to read another one. This one is from Taylor. Hi, Jack and Amy. I'm just listening to your Throne of Glass analysis and had some thoughts on Nehemiah's initial interactions with Celaena and Kaltain. I always interpreted that Nehemiah is being mean to try to get close to Celaena and form a bond between them. While it doesn't excuse the nastiness, I feel like it gives a bit more justification into why this grounded and kind princess is so rude. It feels to me like the easiest way for the two of them to bond, and I wonder if you had any thoughts on alternative ways SJM could have created such a quick bond between them. Great question.
That is a really good question. So I think that their quick bond is actually based on the fact that they are both withholding the truth.
Yeah, but to her point, though, in that moment, it is like a common enemy, and that common enemy was Kaltain, when the common enemy should have been Dorian, because Dorian, his father, is the one keeping them both captive.
Right.
If I was doing this, and I didn't want initial mean girl-ness for no reason, and if I was SJM's beta reader, I would be giving her shit of like, why are they not mad at Dorian just because he's hot?
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have both been mad at Dorian, and Dorian could have won them over, which he does do.
Yeah.
I get wanting to have a common enemy, because that's like one of the best ways to bond. Unite people is to have someone to hate. Not great messaging, but like, unfortunately, that's just kind of how that works. But yeah, I think that Kaltain did not have to be it. I think I could have gotten away with the same thing had it been Dorian.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Honestly, Kaltain didn't even need to be there at all. you could have had the scene play out the way it does without Keltane there. They would have united against the councilman that's there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he was also kind of a dipshit, right? I think it was crummy of SJM to use Keltane as the focus. I also think that the use of Keltane is supposed to be a misdirect as well.
Keltane was easy for readers to also hate. Like, she's just such an... If you're not thinking any kind of critically, it's... And I say that as a reader who regularly chooses not to think critically. I want my brain to turn off. I want to feel numb. I just want little pleasure sensors of like, ooh, one bed, right? Like, I don't want to feel anything. But if you decide to feel a little bit more, then it is like an immediate, like, this was so not needed. Keltane wasn't doing it. And it's just a very easy way to just have someone to shit on. Like, because why, like, doesn't everyone want to shit on the hot popular girl?
Yeah. Yes. However, they are 18 and insecure.
Yeah.
Again, not great. It doesn't have to be this way, but it's not unlike 18-year-olds.
No, not at all. And I think I would like to hope that that comes with age, is like, it goes from being jealous and insecure of the hot popular girl versus, I don't know, when I see like a hot girl online now, I'm just like, get it, babe. Do it. I'm proud of you. You're dating that old man for money. Take him for all he's worth. All right? You get your name in there.
Yeah.
Be over the kids. I don't get, like, get your dues, you know? So I think that's like something that hopefully comes with age where, you know, when I see hot women online and in person, I'm just like proud of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, good for you.
Good for you. I hope you use your hotness for evil.
Get everything in life you want.
Yeah. All right. Thoughts on when, I don't know.
I just want to open this so I can put on some lip balm.
All right. I'm happy you clarified because it did sound like small farts.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see. Best podcast ever. Your discussions have truly sparked so much joy for me, and I read at a much deeper level. Thanks, guys. Are you guys fans of the Hunger Games series? See, Amy, they're asking for it, and they don't even know. They don't even know about you.
Look. Obviously, I'm in a relationship.
Okay, bring this in. Make this make sense for me.
But we know someone who is very attractive, who is also obsessed with the Hunger Games, who brought it up 3 times in one day or 2 days. So,
talking about supporting hot girls.
You know, I should want to read it. But even her attractiveness is not enough for me to overcome, like, the years of disdain.
No, we're gonna read it, and we're gonna have her be on the podcast to talk about it with us.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
And I know she would love that.
I know.
All right, summer book club, guys. It's fun because of how resistant Amy is.
Yep, it's officially on the fall book club list.
Fall? We have a summer.
I mean, but it's like August, September, October, so I'm like,
is that
fall?
Oh, it is going to be fallish. Oh. I don't know how time works.
That's okay. That's why I'm here.
I don't exist in this realm. All right, I'm too ethereal for this shit. Hi, love the podcast. Thoughts on the theory that Morrigan is actually evil?
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, but let's talk about it again. What if my opinion's changed? I'm feeling feisty. I can go either way.
So let's think about this in the context of everything we know because of House of Flame and Shadow. The Morrigan, her family is descended from the family that ruled the Dusk Court.
Yes.
Who were Starborn. She has golden hair like the sun, unlike, you know, Helena and I forget the other sister's name. The other Starborn sister. Anyway, they were all like raven-haired, right?
Yeah.
So the question is then, does her family descend from the family before or after? It would be before, because the Dusk Court folks all go. I don't know. I mean, I guess...
If SJM made her evil, I'd be extremely disappointed, because this is now your only major LGBTQ character that you're not going to follow through with.
Who you're villainizing.
So, like, for me, I'm gonna give SJM benefit of the doubt and say, fuck no. She will not do that. We've learned, SJM, haven't we? We do not villainize minority groups in our books anymore. No. That's past us. We don't do that now, right, SJM? Right? So I hope, when I say past us, her. I want to, it's her, not me, guys. I will say, though, I think that what does villainy look like? Because I think people might argue that Nesta was the bad guy in her story, and I think Moore might have a similar journey. I think Moore's journey is going to have to be her giving up this idea that she is some type of good guy, because she strung Asriel along, you know, even though he'd be the world's shittiest spy for not knowing that she's gay. But like, to an extent she has, because she still sleeps with men, right? She slept with Helion.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Colleen says Moore needs to be with Emery. That's one of my ships. Also me.
Agree.
I also agree.
I was like, Moore should be with you?
No. I agree that Moore should be with Emery.
Yeah.
My apologies. I would love for SJM to make Moore the truly most morally gray character.
Yeah.
Out of all her characters.
Yeah.
Give me a Jude from The Cruel Prince. Like, make her a black-hearted person who does bad things with good outcomes.
Because if you look at Moore till now, she's not, I think she's like been standing on the pedestal that the men around her have put her on, and that she has felt the safest on.
Right. And I'm going to say this. They put her on a pedestal because she's a victim.
It's like that pedestal is the like, we're here to fix you. We're here to make you better. We're here to
protect you.
When it's like, she is a survivor. She is someone who has complex emotions, who has gone through horrible, horrible things. And I think what we need from Moore is an example. She would be the only SJM character, if we ever got her point of view, who is a survivor of a truly horrific sexual violence. And I think that could be some of the most poignant, beautiful, worthwhile story that she could do. And then, you know, and that's like not even touching the, you know, feeling like she has to hide her sexual identity, feeling like she's had to be with men if she doesn't really want to. Like, there's so much to her that I don't think it makes her evil, but the morally gray, and that's just adding complex layers and makes her human.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that Moore doesn't know herself because she's never been allowed to be herself. So I think that there's an interesting journey and story to be told, but at this rate, we'll be 90 when it happens.
I know. Although people think they're going to announce it on the 26th, isn't that? I don't know when this comes out. Not after the 26th, so we'll find out if we're happy or not.
People also think Taylor's going to announce something on the 26th.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. All right, I'm moving on. Taylor's hurt me too many times. And now so is Blake, because I don't think Taylor's announcing shit while this whole thing with Blake is going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. And now, a word from our sponsors. As Jack knows, I'm a very handy person. I prefer to do all my own furniture building DIY, but quite frankly, there just isn't enough time in the day. That's why I use TaskRabbit.
I really wish we had TaskRabbit when we sawed apart my furniture and took it apart piece by piece just so that we could move it, because with TaskRabbit, we could have hired someone to take the whole thing out.
In our defense, it didn't fit through the door.
TaskRabbit would find a way.
They sure would. TaskRabbit connects you with skilled taskers to help with moving, mounting, furniture assembly or deassembly, home repairs, and more. Many taskers are available to help the same day. Why wait for you to do it when a tasker can do it instead?
All I had to do was download the app, or you can go to taskrabbit.com and find the best tasker for your job based on cost, skill set, availability, and my favorite part, past client reviews.
Once the tasker has completed the job, all you have to do is pay, tip, and review, all on the convenient TaskRabbit app.
Taskers have assembled over 3.4 million pieces of furniture. They have done thousands of home repairs, completed 1.5 million moves, and more.
Plus, with TaskRabbit's happiness pledge, if you're not satisfied, they'll work to make it right. They are definitely coming next week to build my girlfriend's bookshelf.
My tasker is about to organize my entire email. The virtual assistant option, bringing me so much joy. Tackle your to-do list today and get 15% off your first task at taskrabbit.com or on the TaskRabbit app using promo code BookTok.
That's promo code BookTalk, BookTalk, at taskrabbit.com for 15% off your task. TaskRabbit, book trusted help for home tasks.
Let's do a slight change. This comes from a couple listeners. Zayden in violence? And Violet's height difference isn't an issue.
We did issue an apology.
I take it back. I don't apologize for shit. No. I apologize. But have you seen some of the art?
Some of the art really like purposefully makes her a child.
And that's the thing where, people like, cause like I posted this one art and everyone was like, this is, like there's nothing wrong. And I'm like, okay, hear me out. Height difference isn't horrible. It's still a little sometimes like jarring. However, Xaden is described as being ridiculously muscular and Violet is supposed to be ridiculously weak and petite.
Yeah.
That is what makes it creepy. So you know what? Height difference isn't bad. However, height difference plus size difference.
Right. There are so many levels of power dynamics going on that really irk me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
It's this big hulking 6'5" versus this small, weak
5'2". Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think is very similar to my acupuncturist and her husband. And they're in their 40s and she doesn't look like a child. And it doesn't look disgusting to me.
But is he like a huge bodybuilder and is she the most petite individual in the whole wide world?
He's not a big bodybuilder, but he is a large man.
Yeah.
And she is small and petite. I think for me what it is the art just makes Violet look like she's 12.
Yeah. Someone says, love this podcast. Would love an episode on how you annotate/analyze books. Talk a little bit about it.
About how we annotate?
Yeah.
There's been an evolution.
That's a kind way of saying it. It used to be we would write in the book. I don't know. I kind of blacked things out. Okay.
I did color-coded highlights and tabs based on themes.
Yeah. That was a you thing.
That was an ACOTAR me thing.
Okay, so when it comes to actually annotating and what you're analyzing, so what are things that we're looking at? One thing that helps is that we're both looking through a lens, right? So I'm looking for feminist, female, male, gender, stereotypical gender roles. Amy's looking for power. So when you're doing a literary analysis, you choose a lens that you view through. And that is how literary analysis works. If you're going through and you're just kind of wanting to observe and stuff, spend time on things that she takes time, like the author might take time on. So if it is like Amy pointed out, the white thorn blossoms in Feyre's hair, so it's like, okay, well, what is that? What is that moment happening there? Or in Throne of Glass, it was blood, like the light shining on blood on the floor, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on there? And then honestly, the majority of it happens through us talking.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, for us, and so now we've gone from writing in physical books to buying the books on Kindle, and Jack does voice to text notes.
So nice.
And I attach notes and type on my phone through the Kindle app while I'm on the train. So we've evolved, but it makes life easier. So much so.
What do you look for when you're...
That's hard to say. Obviously, there are going to be the easy wins. Food, use of color, use
clothing.
Of light. Clothing. Those are the easy things to see, like, why is the author spending time on this? Mm-hmm. Especially when it's layered in between dialogue or action, right? It's when things interrupt the flow of dialogue, descriptions interrupt the flow of dialogue, that's usually an indicator that something important is being conveyed. Otherwise, it would just be big chunks of dialogue.
Yeah, I also think half of it is a character analysis on the characters, because like if you understand these characters well, you're let's start with Throne of Glass, right? Even ACOTAR, okay, well, this person, Feyre, has been taking care of her family since a young age. She's always had food insecurity. These are facts we know. Mm-hmm. Aelin, or Selena as we know her initially, she was a slave in Endovir for a year. We know that someone that she loved died. Like, these are the facts that we know. So Once you learn these characters and the facts about these characters, then it starts to tell you a little bit more about their actions. And the more you know these characters, the more you're able to pick up how they've changed, and you could anticipate how they would react to a situation.
I would also say the things that I pay attention to, and this is in movies, plays, books, is what is visually reoccurring. Mm-hmm. So, for example, right now I'm reading an arc for an interview we have coming up, and the book intentionally starts with talking about a canary. Mm-hmm. And so a canary shows up like every 10 chapters or so. So I start paying attention to, is the canary alive? Is the canary singing? Mm-hmm.
What do canaries normally represent?
Right, exactly. So the author, like even with A Court of Thorns and Roses, it starts with Feyre killing a doe. Mm-hmm. And then we see a doe multiple times throughout the book. Paying attention to what those first images are, or what the images are that are reoccurring, will kind of clue you into maybe some symbolism that the author is trying to work into their story.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. And all of that ultimately will help you with your own book. But that doesn't come until the end. Until the very end.
It's not an inherent thing you write in the first draft.
No, or the second or the fifth. It'll come. It'll come. I love the theory that Azriel is somehow a descendant or related to Lorcan.
I have not seen this.
I hadn't seen that. On what grounds does my client believe that is his great-great-grandfather? On what grounds?
I mean, he has a greater chance of being related to the Starborn Fae.
Yeah. Is it because he's just tall and hot?
Black hair. They have black hair, right? Lorcan has black. I can't remember what Lorcan looks like, to be honest.
He's just, talk about another height difference, one that's gonna creep us out.
Yeah.
That one's a bad one.
Yeah, and the fact that she is also
disabled.
We're
not saying that there's anything wrong with being disabled.
There's nothing wrong.
It's the power dynamics.
It is the power dynamics that just give me the heebie-jeebies.
Because then she is physically at his mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does he change into? What does he shift into? Does he shift into
an
animal?
I can't remember. And you know what, though? I want that sex scene. I want that sex scene.
No, I don't.
Bad.
I do not.
Detail it for me, SJM. Make me go on Pornhub and see how it works in real life.
He would see it. He would service her. That's all. That's all it would be. Which is acceptable. However,
my Google searches are about to be so weird tonight.
Visually, again, with the art, it just it's just so much wrong with the power dynamics.
Let's see. How tall is Lorcan from Throne of Glass? Okay, well, the elite is supposedly... Oh, no. Okay, elite is supposedly 5'2".
Okay.
Lorcan is supposedly around 7 foot.
Exactly. It's worse than Violet and Satan.
What? That can't be right. Possibly nearing 7 feet tall. No, guys, we have to have limits. We have to have boundaries somewhere. We will not stand for this. I know we've already issued one apology. Don't make it 2.
Yeah, seriously.
What? 5'2" and 7 feet? That's almost 3 feet taller, 2 feet taller than her.
22 inches.
Okay, I am scarred. I want the most not safe for work art that is accurate to their height difference. Someone send that to me, please. I want, again, I need this. I need to see this. How does this work? And the answer is it probably doesn't. And the other answer is my Google search is about to be real weird.
I know. I'm dying to search it right now.
Do you remember Girthmaster?
No.
Remember that conversation where I was like, the circumference of his dick.
Oh yeah.
And then we were I was like, radius, circumference, what? Then I learned algebra. It was, but he's huge. And when I imagine these characters, I imagine him bigger than Girthmaster. And Girthmaster's huge. He's a master of the girth.
Yeah, I mean, no, keeping that to myself.
I'm gonna send you screenshots whenever I find anything.
Oh, I will be searching.
Aww.
If I can search while you're reading the next comment, I will. Someone on our Instagram said, please do more of these listener thoughts episodes again. I can't keep up with book club and don't want to be spoiled, but I miss you.
Oh, thanks. I know back in the day we used to do a listener thoughts on Thursdays and
or like mini episode
on a Thursday with,
which we tried to do with this book club, right? We did interviews
yeah,
on some of them.
Honestly, we would do something like that if these seasons weren't so long. I am feeling so brave, and I think this is going to be some short ass episodes for Crown at Midnight. I don't think they're going to be 4 hours long.
You don't think so?
No, 2 hours, if that.
Short ass. Short is like 45 minutes.
No. If we did a 2-hour episode, we were skipping with joy there. Oh, oops. And then I didn't finish the other person. Okay, Azriel is related to Lorcan and Farah being connected to Tamlin. Wait, connected or related? I feel like I'm missing some of there.
Yeah.
Throne of Glass season was great. Will you interview the graphic audio cast it releases this summer? Hadn't thought of it. That is a very smart idea.
I think that's a great idea. Thank you for letting us steal that.
Shout out Jin.
Corin says, Hale undeservedly gets a bad rep when his intentions were pure. Selena overreacted, in my honest opinion. I re-listened to like 65% of Crown at Midnight before Libby took it away from me.
Oh.
I didn't listen fast enough. But I still stand by the fact that Cale is not as bad as everyone makes him out to be. I think he made poor choices, but it wasn't because they weren't malicious.
Yeah. I'm almost done with my re-listen to Crown of Midnight. I mean, even Nehemia's death, I feel like has no point of blaming Cale. Just because he knew that there was a threat to her.
And didn't tell Selena.
And he didn't tell Selena, but like, I don't know. He is captain of the guard.
Yeah, I think we have to think about the fact that Selena has never really been very rational in her first, right? That's part of it.
I mean, I'm talking about for the listener, guys. Come on. Like, giving Cale a break. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah.
It was coming from a perspective of like, well, let's give him a little break.
Yeah, but how much of our emotions are influenced by Selena's reaction?
All of it. Significantly.
And is she stable?
No. Am I? Barely.
I most days no. I'm not.
No. We just get by, guys. We just get by. I sit here and I look at my corner and I stare at a chicken.
I have a corner chicken too.
Can I see your corner chicken?
Winner.
Corner chicken. Only the real ones know. Oh, everyone's got to have a corner chicken.
That's right.
One day someone will send us like a chicken stuffed animal. Okay. Currently reading Crescent City 3, and I'm hugely disappointed. Just wanted to rant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't even work up the desire to read it again.
Nor will we. Not for a while. I mean, we got Throne of Glass. We got ACOTAR. We got to finish up ACOTAR. There's a lot of things we can do before we go to that last. Some would say we would have to finish all of Throne of Glass before we can do justice to that last.
Honestly, it's true.
Yeah. So... you don't have to think about it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about one where the episodes could be shorter. We could skip a lot.
Yeah. That one I would do differently.
Yeah, I would definitely do it differently.
It's hard because that's the one that she flexed her writing muscles the most.
I know.
And that's the most frustrating thing where, I think she's the best writer there, but lost a lot. I really, really hope we one day find out exactly where the Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and Crescent City universes all are around each other, like different worlds, times, realms. Yeah. I mean, I'm confused because I just want to know, where does Aelin, what time is her world in comparison to Rhys's and Bryce's? Because we know she saw Rhys, but people have argued that could be through space and time situation. And then how many rings of Brennan can there really be? I say multiple.
I think all SJM has to say is when you travel between realms, you bend space and time. And so there's no way to plot them on the same timeline.
Colleen says she's going to die at some point with or without the threats because Selena... Wait, who are we talking about? Selena needed that motivation.
Nehemia.
Oh, Nehemia. If I remember correctly, Nehemia was going to die on her terms anyway to kick Selena into gear, or is my brain remembering? Yeah.
No, you're definitely right, Colleen.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is SJM does this thing where she gives you a really, really high and then a really low.
Mm-hmm.
And right before Nehemia dies, Kale and Selena are thinking about how they're going to marry each other because they love each other so much. And then Nehemia dies so that Selena can be like, you are my enemy.
Yeah. You know, there's other ways to handle things.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to say, if I'm ever dickmatized, you don't have to sacrifice yourself, Amy.
I don't plan on it.
No, nor should you. I'm just saying, like, you can break a dickmatization without death.
Yeah. I mean, I could kill our friendship.
No. Wow. Oh.
That would break the spell.
Take that back.
I take it back.
Okay.
Because
No.
I will never let you get that far.
I mean, no dick. 1, 2, 3. Theo James. No, I've seen that Speedo commercial. I'm not impressed.
Technically, it's Dolce & Gabbana.
Right, I forgot there was a whole ad. I was impressed about a lot of things. There was one thing that I was like, oh, thank God you're normal.
Steph says, your voices are perfect for podcasts and keep me company on my work from home days. Well, thank you so much for saying that, because I definitely worry about all of our listeners all the time listening to our voices.
We've had like a number of listeners reach out recently for whatever reason, like at least like a couple, like 3 or 4, who've been like, oh, that's your voice? I always confuse it the other way around. To which my response was, it brings me great joy that you think some of the dumbass things I say come out of Amy's face.
Which means my maniacal laughter is coming out of your face.
Yeah. So people think and then she was like, I don't think either of you guys say dumb things. I'm like, wow, thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But it is hilarious that, because not just voices, that means they think that we've said things that the other person
said.
Yeah.
I understand. So all my maniacal laughter, they think is coming from your face.
I just can't, like, I feel, so you, like, I'm a clearly, thirsty bitch talking about Theo James and everything. Does Amy look like someone who would love Theo James?
Then you look like you're going to marry a woman.
Yeah, but you've always established that Emma's a hot woman, so
yeah, it's true.
That does hold up.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I love how, like, you're trying to twist it. I'm like, no, actually, it sounds like a compliment that I'm marrying a hot woman.
I could get down with Theo James.
Everyone should get down with Theo James, especially his wife, to which I respect. Someone asks about a book update on our books. When are your books coming out? Can't wait to read and support. So I finished round 1 and
so by the way, you've written a draft of a book that turned into 2 books.
Yes.
And now you've written a new first draft of a new book.
That is correct. I have technically written 3 books.
Yes.
None of which have seen anything yet. This big boy, which if anyone's like, why does your voice sound funny? I'm holding it to the camera. 461 beautiful pages of chaos and pain. So currently I reorganized my thoughts about this because I'm going to be doing this into layers. My first one is I'm rereading it one whole time through. Second read, I'm going to figure out, like, I'm going to have like an actual poster board of the plot. So my next goal, I'm just figuring out the plot. Mm-hmm. We're going to just make that make sense. Mm-hmm. Before I do anything, it's going to be plot. And then from there, I'm going to break up the scenes and the beats and then do all that. And then I'm going to go in and make the words better. And then I'm going to hand it off to people to read. So we got some time.
That sounds right.
Yeah. You're trying something new.
I'm trying something new. I am putting everything I've ever written or thought about in a big bowl and shaking really hard and then seeing what comes out. So I'm making a Frankenstein's monster.
You pantsing.
I'm pantsing, which I don't normally do. It is hurting my brain only because I'm like, shit, I'm about to do something. I haven't thought about it yet. I need to think, what am I doing? I have no idea.
That's how I felt when I was writing the climax, where I was like, I think I know what I'm doing, but that means I have to actually make it do.
Yeah. 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 So for me, pantsing, I literally just wrote 2 chapters. And then to write chapter 3, I was like, wait, but I need to know everybody's magical affinity.
No, you just write it.
It's too late. I've already thought about their magical affinity. I don't have a plan for it.
Yeah. I
just based it on like their personalities.
Perfect.
What would they do?
Perfect.
So I still have no idea where this is going.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, gotta start.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start with chaos.
Yeah. That's
chaos and destruction, and just get it out there. I think, what was it? You said something to me that was good, or that I enjoyed. Whether it's good or not is up for you to decide. But you said that your goal wasn't even really to write the full book. You're writing plot.
Yeah. All I want to do is 50 to 60,000 words of plot. I don't care about imagery. I don't care about character development. I don't care about world building. I just want plot.
Anything. Yeah.
Romance, nothing. I just want to know what point A and point B are and what the path is to get there. So I'm just going to start throwing things at the wall, and it's going to be terrible. But then I have something to build from. And it will be tiny, which will make it more manageable to work through.
Woo! I will say, talking to all these authors, being friends with people who are friends with authors, it is so comforting knowing that all the talent, all the good things that we analyze in a book and love does not come anywhere near the first, second, or third rounds.
Yep.
You just got to make it make sense first. Because love, romance aspect, any other aspects, the imagery, none of that will work if your plot does not make sense.
Yeah. I am now giving myself permission. Chapter 3 starts with them entering the capital city, and I'm just going to go describe the city and then meet the person.
Yeah.
Meet the person you're meeting.
And then they met.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out later.
Yep.
Someone says this I feel like it's relevant. Why is there so many characters talking about like Throne of Glass? I made a spreadsheet for Crescent City 3 and Throne of Glass. And that is my promise to you guys. I will not have as many characters as freaking Throne of Glass.
But like after 8 books.
No, I thought about this. They'll die. I'm going to have a certain number in my head. And once I reach that number of characters, people start dying. I will only ever be able to write like 8 characters. Anything more, expect death. Yeah.
Death. I love it. I think that's actually really smart.
I refuse.
I can't remember all the differences between the 13.
Yeah.
That's where I start losing it because I'm like, I want to remember you all because you're all so beautiful, but I can't.
No. I think a lot of characters is hard. Even the one-off characters. What other thing were we recording that I was like telling you? I'm like, oh yeah, I forget the names of my own characters of my own books.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've started making a spreadsheet. I'm starting to make an Airtable so that I can track who the minor characters are and when they're mentioned.
Yeah.
So that if I lose track of one, I can be like, oh, let's bring that person back.
I know, right? It's there's going to be a reason why my minor characters are all going to have very basic names because I can't do it. People are going to catch, they'll be like, have you ever noticed that Jack's character's name, like Dave, is just going to be around?
John.
Like, they're always the ones who die first. Has anyone ever noticed that? It's because they're the easiest ones for me to remember. You will not get a complicated name system in my world, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and maybe one gentleman. And I think this might be the last one. I hope that SJN can find a way to blend the worlds together in a way that we can understand and not leave a lot of our questions and theories unanswered. I hope she hasn't made it too big to tie together.
I completely respect that. I think SJM will probably feel a lot of pressure to do just that in her next ACOTAR book. I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't heard a release date. We haven't gotten a name. I don't know any of this to be true, but either she is taking the time to weave those threads.
Yeah.
Or she's going to say, fuck y'all, I don't have to. And just write a book. I'll be interested to see how it goes. There's so much with Coast J and, what's happening on the continent in the ACOTAR world that it's inevitable that we're going to learn new things. Mm-hmm. And that's either going to complicate everything a lot more, or she'll find a way to weave some of it together. And it's really players' it's anybody's guess how it's going to turn out.
I feel like the answer to this listener is yes and yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's talented enough that she can pull things in. And once you've gotten to this point of your writing and you've written so many books and you have so much lore, I think you can dip into something that you've done like all the way from book 2, when the second book you ever wrote, and you can pull something from there to make it tie in. So there's like a huge well and opportunity for her to pull things in and say, look, guys, it was there the whole time. Is it too big? Yes. Are there too many open things? Yes. Is she signed for like 5 more books? Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think all the answers are going to come in the next book. It might come over the course of multiple books.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen says, timeline-wise, using the tech that they have, Throne of Glass comes first, then Akator second, then Crescent City third. But each is a different world. Hope that makes sense. Till SGM confirms it, I don't think they're on the same world. And Bryce time traveled.
I like to imagine they're all in the same timeline, different worlds. But that's what I want.
Yeah, I think they're different worlds staggered.
Agreed.
But also overlapping timelines.
Yeah. Like, I think you can exit. But then even if you're time traveling, but you're entering at the exact same time, is that time traveling? Because time is a construct.
Our human brains cannot comprehend.
I know. My brain just hurt. I'm going to stare at my photo of a chicken.
I'm going to look up Lorcan in a lead.
It's like not safe for work art.
Yeah.
All right. So right now?
Yeah.
Should I sing and dance while you do it?
Only if you want to. Well, so far it's disappointing. I don't see any not safe for work stuff.
Okay, Lorcan.
And also the fan art is still not getting their height differences right.
I mean, this one is getting closer, but even then, that's not a true representation if you wanted. That's not almost 2 feet tall.
Yeah. Like the ones oh, wait, here we go. Even, I mean, you can't see their full bodies, but the size of their their heads, you can see. Ooh.
Yeah. Like, he is his giant.
Like double or triple the size of her head.
A giant.
Ah, look at this one. Like, his head is so giant compared to hers. It's like her head is a quarter of his.
Here we go. Here's one. How about this?
Oh, no. Again, it's about the power dynamics, guys. It's about he's this hulking 300-pound muscular 7-foot-tall man. And she probably is all but 90 pounds sopping wet at 5'2".
Let me go on Pornhub. Don't worry, I won't hold it to camera. Okay, if I type in height difference, yes, I'm over 18.
It's not just about height difference, though. It's also size difference.
Well, I'm sure height difference will, like, help imply... Oh, it's Girthmaster. All right. Well, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing.
This one's hilarious because she's trying to hold his cheek, touch his cheek, but she's literally, like, full arm stretch above her head. She's like... on her tippy toes, trying to touch his cheek.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, I'm going to get off of Pornhub. I just saw some weird shit.
Okay. It's time to end. Okay.
You best be sure I am keeping that improv in there.
Okay. Well, do you want to improv the next one? Or...
Yeah. No, I have faith in me.
Okay. Wait, some of my edits didn't stick. Why? Okay, well, it's an area that I have to read, so I'll improv again. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy. We encourage you to rate and subscribe to our show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Stay tuned for next week's episode, where we begin our newest season analyzing Sarah J. Maas's Crown of Midnight.
Oh my God, it's already here. We would love to hear your thoughts based on today's conversation. If you would like to submit your take on any of the books we plan to discuss this summer.
Improv failure.
No, I got this. We would love to hear your thoughts based on today's conversation. We would love if you could submit your takes on any of the takes we've discussed today. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we ask for submissions.
Are you keeping that? Okay. If you're enjoying the podcast, please visit our website, booktalkforbooktalk.com, to view our latest merch and learn about supporting the show through Patreon or Venmo. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube at the handle
Book talk for book talk. We haven't even recorded the episode. We record the outros first.